Okay, welcome back to this tutorial. In the previous tutorial, we talked about importing a 3D model and then bringing it into Unity. So I showed you how to download a 3D model from online, which we got from this site here, and we were able to import that model into Unity. Okay, so one thing I want to hit on when importing a model to Unity, look at the type of model. So over here you can see the model is in three formats: obj, .mb, and then .fbx. Okay, so Unity actually accepts obj, and fbx models. Okay, yeah, it can accept other formats, other types of model, like if it's a blender model, a blender file. So once you have blender, but you have to have the software installed in your machine. Once you have blender installed on your machine, Unity can accept a blender file. Today we are going to talk about textures and materials. Okay, so we can see our 3D model here in the project window. Okay, and the model is here. The model itself is in the scene. Okay, now we can see the model has like window look, like a wooden. You can see you can feel like it has wood around it and some kind of dirt on the window. So how do you achieve this? Okay, how was this achieved? So it's simple. The 3D model itself is this object we are seeing here. Okay, so this is the whole model, the whole game object: snow coverage cottage. Okay, and it only has one component, the transform component. Okay, but when you open it up, it has a light, ambient light, a cottage, that's the actual house, the cottage, the house, and then a directional light, all embedded in this model. So now when we click on the cottage house, we can see stuff like the mesh render, and I told you the mesh render is what is actually rendering the model. So when I disable that component, the mesh render component, I couldn't find the model anymore. When I enable it, the model comes back. Now you can see this material. Okay, and that was the material we extracted, Lambert 9. Okay, so when we click on the code, we can see is that exact same material. Now we are going to create a material over here. Let's right click in our project window, go to create, and then material, and then let's just give it a name. Let's just say default or something, or let's say matte for short for material, matte. And now let's drag this material in place of the original material. Okay, look at what we have now. We have just a solid object. Okay, and now this object does not have the actual look it used to have, like the windows, the wooden kind of color, because this material does not have any texture attached to it. So now what is a texture? So now a texture provides colors to the material, or look and feel to the materials. Okay, so now how can we apply that wooden texture that was on the first material over here? So now we go to our 3D models folder, we have the materials and the textures. So let's go to texture. Under texture we have cottage texture. Look at it here, cottage texture, and another one, cottage texture bump. Okay, so now I'm going to open this texture, and so now this is it. So a texture is just an image. Okay, it's just like a picture, it's an image, and that image applies the look and feel to the 3D object in your scene. So when you apply a texture to a material, what happens is the material takes the texture's look, the texture's color, and applies it to the 3D model. So you can see the window here, all the doors, and all the look and feel, all the makeup of the 3D model. Okay, so let's close this here. So now we are going to select the 3D model, the cottage house, and over here we can see the material properties corresponding to this. Now over here where it says albedo is where the texture goes to. So we drag the first one, the cottage texture, and look at what happens. It automatically applies that image, okay, to the 3D model and makes it look like a real house, like it looks like an actual house. Okay, so you see the power of textures and materials. So now imagine we didn't apply a texture. Okay, imagine we didn't apply a texture to this building. So over here, let's say I'm going to click on the albedo, this small circle close to the albedo, and when it opens I'm going to click on none. So now there's no texture on it. Okay, let's assume there's no texture, and then I click on this white background here. So this allows me to like choose a color. So now I can even apply a color to the 3D model. Okay, so if you don't have a texture and like you want to give your 3D model a specific kind of color, so the material has the color property which you can apply to the texture, sorry, to the 3D model, to give it that kind of feeling, to make it look like whatever you want it to be. Okay, but with the textures you apply like a definite like image like to it. Okay, so what if you want to blend? You can also blend. So if I go back and select this white background here, I can add red to like the wood. I can like blend colors, okay, with the actual texture that's on it. So you can see the texture is still there, but the color is kind of like bluish. You get it? So you can use this to create like cool looking like feels and looks to like your 3D models. Okay, so basically this is it. So this is about textures and materials. Hopefully in the next one we'll start doing some more stuff. Maybe we'll talk about rigid body and physics, how Unity applies physics to game objects. Imagine you're having a game where like you're having a car or a racing game, so when you crash, that impact, that collision effect, how to handle all those physical interactions. So stay tuned for the next tutorial, and I'll catch you guys later.